you about a great new premium offering we have from our bets guy, Keg. He has been crushing it so much with his live betting streams that we decided to spin off his Keg Cats into a premium feature.
The first 5 shows, we were profitable all 5 shows. The show was up like 15 units about, and, I crush.
Subscribe today for just $10 a week and gain access to all of Keg's live betting streams covering tons of sports, including the NFL playoffs, MMA betting every week, PGA, March Madness, the NBA, and NASCAR. Last season, Keg and the crew crushed in NASCAR with cashes in over 30 races for well over 130 units of live profit.
Put it on the boy for your boy Keg to get Blaney home at 14-1. Put it on the board for your guy Keg to get that Larson top 5 plus 105 home. Let's go!
Learn how to live bet and tail Keg and his crew with this amazing subscription offering. Also included is access into an exclusive Discord channel reserved for Keg's subscribers. Last reminder that it's only $10 a week, so get on board today with Keg and keep running pure.
What is going on, everyone? AP over here at Run Pure Sports, bringing to you once again the Strokes Gain Show here, as always, on Tuesday night with my 2 guys. We got Hoop, we got Snyder. Snyder, I'm gonna start with you, man. How was your week last week? I think I saw you up there. I know we were talking back and forth, and it seemed like it was a good week for us, or probably all 3 of us. But talk to me about your week last week.
It was a pretty good week for me. I actually had a pretty good sweat there in that $88 GBP. I was up near the top, winning it for a while, but who was it? Hadwin and Brooks kind of struggled there on round 4, ended up finishing like 25th, 30th, 31st, something like that. Did finish second in one of the $75 3 maxes, so that was good. All around, pretty good week for me, and I even got some money from Big T, so it's always good once you get that Venmo notification on Monday from Mr. Big T. He was talking shade about my guy Brooks, so I was like, all right, I'll take Brooks against the whole 9K range. You can have them all. This is like a really bad bet for me. I'm a huge minus EV, but Brooks has just came, dropped the sack on him. We collected some giblets, and we're ready for this week.
There we go. Yeah, he played. I sent you a message specifically, like, yeah, he didn't get it done on Friday, but we all gave you a tough time on the show last week, making fun of Brooks. You held your own like you always do, Snyder. Great call. I wasn't on him. He looked good. It looks like the game is rounding into form. And, another thing too, we saw 2 hole-in-ones last week, just phenomenal beer cans, getting thrown out there. I mean, like who? Talk to me about your week, but then, are we having an RPS party at the Waste Management Open next year? I'm in. I don't know about you, but I'm definitely in.
I swear, if someone can get us like one of those suites, or I think as a company we should invest in one of those, whatever it is, suites, and just go out there and party. And that looks like an amazing time. I'm 100% in for that. Just so cool. And the course is actually legit. And I know people are talking about it. They'd like to see it host a major at some point. I think it could. It's a true test. Like, you can go out there, if the conditions are good, you can put up a solid score. But there's a lot of mistakes out there and some tough holes. I think it's a really solid golf course. I love watching the event there. So it was fun. Had solid sweats. I had 4 teams in the top 50 in the big thing. What was it, like 200K to first? I had 4 teams in the top 50 going into Sunday. They're all around top 100 all day. Just needed Thigala to win. And I had a couple like Thigala, Scheffler, 6 out of 6 teams. Just fell a little short. I needed Thigala to win. Snyder's boy, you've been on Thigala for a while. He's always in the playbook at Run Pure Sports, or he has been for, the last few weeks now. Obviously, he's going to be a little more popular because of the recent results. But it was a very solid week. I think we have a really strong read on the PGA Tour this year. And this is a great event. You have all the top 10 world ranked players here. Now, obviously, that's not much of a surprise when Mr. Tiger Woods is hosting the event and gives these guys a call and says, hey, show up to this event. You're going to drop what you're doing and you're coming out there. So we got a star-studded field here. Really looking forward to this. This is one of the more iconic courses on tour as well. It's going to be a lot of fun this week. But, as we're talking about in the opening, got to make some tough decisions with all these top players out there this week. Like, you can't play them all. Well, a lot of our competitors do choose to play all the guys. That's why we have a leg up on the competition over here at Run Pier, because we take stands, and you have to. So I think this is really shaping up to be a perfect week for us and our style of play. All our content will start to come out tomorrow. Snyder and AP on the playbook, my player pool, which goes up usually Wednesday morning. All our core plays start to trickle in. Slate plans start to trickle in tomorrow. So all the content starts coming out usually, tonight, tomorrow morning, tomorrow afternoon. And it's been a hot start to the PGA season. And I think, we're really going to pay it off this week.
Yeah, I mean, I gotta give it up for the show. Hoopster, you were very, had a high conviction on Scotty Scheffler. Snyder, I mean, you got calls like each and every week. I up until last week, it had been kind of a rough going for me in the PGA streets, but we got the notebook play right, JT Poston, and the workbench play got out late. Billy Horschel, we'll make sure it's out much sooner this week, but he ended up doing very well. It was like a 5 to 6 week for me, like for every build I had, it seemed like. Yeah. But I still made money. It still was a really nice week, made money. Had a few guys that just let us down, but I'm with you guys. I'm very excited for this week. We're at Riviera Country Club, still in LA. Snyder, let me just kick it over to you. Talk to us about this track, because we've been at a lot of birdie fests lately with a lot of low scores. Are we going to see that this week?
Yeah, one more thing to add before we get into the course breakdown. Much like Snyder, I got a message from a knee house, not Big T. Uncle T reached out Monday morning and said, Hoop, I lost a bet to you. I owe you some money. Hopped on the Wednesday show with the boys. He liked Corey Connors. I like my boy Tom Hoagie, and the GOAT Tom Hoagie continues to put up strong finishes. So getting some knee house bucks is always a good thing. A good way to start the week, really, Monday morning. So we're going to run it back, though. I'm going to get some more Uncle T bucks this week. So Snyder, what do you got for the course breakdown?
Yeah, so we got the top 10 players in the world here. It's going to have like a little bit of a major type feel to this event, I think, with Tiger hosting it and all the big guns here. Early on, it looks like ownership's going to be kind of spread out, like Hoop hit on earlier, which is really nice. It's really good news for us over here at RPS, so you got to love that heading into this. But Riviera Country Club is a par 71. It's going to measure 7,322 yards. It ranked as one of the top 10 toughest courses on tour last year, so this is going to be like a ball striker's paradise here, so we shouldn't see near the birdies made if they keep this course up to what they usually do. Golfers are going to see some very fast greens here. As we saw on Saturday last year, they were so fast that they elected not to even mow them on Sunday. And with not mowing them and the extra water they put on it, that actually played a lot easier Sunday, as we saw Max Homa shot at 66, Tony Finau shot at 64 in that final round to end up in a playoff with Max Homa coming through there. That was a good playoff too. I mean, they both hit some adversity there, so it was fun to see. The winds can creep up here at times. We had a delay last year as well with the heavy winds they had here. We're going to see that Kikuyu grass that many people are going to talk about. Yeah, it's here. It's in the fairways and rough. It can act like Velcro at times. Can be really tough around the greens at times for poor around the green guys. You're going to see a lot of different types of lies too in this grass. You're not going to have the same lie every time, so that's going to be interesting. More strategic type track here. Isn't overly long, allowing some golfers to club down more. So the elevated greens here too present a challenge with the depth perception. I think we're going to see some golfers kind of coming up short on some of these greens as they have challenges with the depth perception of how much club they need hitting some of these greens. There's some course comps to Quail Hollow and Augusta here. The POA greens here are going to lead to many missed putts inside 5 foot. We're going to see a lot of short missed putts, especially as the day goes on and the greens get bumpier and the increased foot traffic. Last year, we saw Max Homa miss that shorty to win in regulation, which is brutal for him, but good to see him come through in the playoff there. The hole one's going to play as the easiest. It's going to have a birdie percentage of right around 60% and an eagle rating of about 6%, which is pretty big. We don't see that high a birdie percentage in eagle ratings, but then, I mean, you better buckle up because the next 17 holes are going to be tough. There's 8 holes that have a bogey percentage of 20% or higher here on average, and long iron play is going to be needed with 6 par 4s that are going to be in that 450 to 500 range. Some other key stats we'll be looking at, strokes gained approach, green and regulation, around the green play, off the tee, and putting with an emphasis on POA.
Yeah, very good. Great breakdown there, Snyder. Agree with you on all of those points. You know, I got my kind of model up, just looking at different guys, and yeah, I'm a same type of deal. You know, I would add in their bombers. That's something I'm looking at this week. And luckily, a lot of these guys up top can hit it far. So, again, if you haven't yet, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. It's going to help us to keep this free for each and all of you every week. So how we do it every week on Tuesdays is we go tier by tier, starting with the 10K and up range. Hoop, I'm going to kick it over to you. Talk to me about this range, starting with Dustin Johnson up to Jon Rahm.
Yeah, I mean, we've already all talked about it. I mean, the field's loaded this week, and you go to the top range here, and you have some tough decisions to make. You start with Jon Rahm at 11-3, and you know it's no secret if you watch the show or if you remember at Run Pier, and you know you've checked out any of our content. Big Jon Rahm guy, and you know not only am I a big Jon Rahm guy, I just think he's better than everybody else, and kind of on display last week. I mean, he probably, again, did not have his A game. It was probably his B game. The only thing that held him back is the putting. He missed. I mean, him and, you know, you can throw Justin Thomas into that category too. I mean, those guys missed so many putts between 5 and 12 feet. It was astonishing. They could have, and Schauffele, you can throw in that mix too. Here's another guy missed a ton of putts. Like those guys, those 3 could have been in a league of their own last week in terms of the leaderboard. They all missed so many putts. Jon Rahm's the best player in the world, and he's not necessarily priced like it this week. So the field will probably play him at about 23% or something. You guys know what I'm doing there. And then it gets tougher, though. It truly does get tougher because Patrick Cantlay is playing phenomenal golf. He last week made all the putts. I don't know the numbers. Snyder, you know, digs into the numbers, so I'm sure he knows exactly what went on last week. But to me, it seemed like Cantlay, in terms of, you know, the iron play, wasn't as good as Rahm and JT, but he made the putts. Cantlay's been playing phenomenal golf. I mean, you just look at it this year: 4th at the Century, 9th at the American Express, 4th at the Pebble Beach, 2nd at the Waste Management. He's playing good, and you know the price is up there at 11K. It makes it tough. You know, honestly, at this point in the week, I'm undecided with what I'm doing in this top tier. Obviously, I know I'm playing Jon Rahm. After that, I really don't know what I'm doing. I'm going to, you know, dig in a lot. I'm going to obviously listen to what you guys have to say, check out what all our coordinators have to say. I know I'm playing Rahm. I want to play Cantlay. Justin Thomas is a tough one for me. I mean, he was really bad with the putter last week, like really bad. And it continues to happen with him where he just simply can't putt. And it's to the point where you just wonder, is he just a really bad putter? Because in so many events, he's just held back by the thing. And I saw something on Twitter, the length of putts that he missed this week. And there was like 25 putts, I want to say, inside like 12 feet or something. It was a crazy number. I am going to try to dig up this tweet during the show and see if I can find it. But it was an astonishing number of putts that he missed. I'll probably be off in this week. Snyder, your boy Morikawa, is looking at me at 10-4. I mean, he's a top 5 player in the world. There's no doubt about it. He's priced like a top 5 player in the world. He's 5th, you know, right in this, you know, top tier. I don't know what I'm doing with him. You know, Dustin Johnson at 10-2, really good course history here. I think he looked pretty good last time out. You know, didn't have his full arsenal. What event was it that he played? Was it the Farmers, right? Pulling it up. Yeah, the Farmers. Finished 25th, kind of fell off on Sunday. He played better than a top 25 performance. I'm conflicted in this range, and you know I will have my player pool and everything out tomorrow. I'll be in the Discord, so if you are a member, you're going to have my full takes on this top tier. But as it stands right now, I don't know what I'm going to do. I know I'm playing Rahm, after that, I'm open. So you're really going to have to, head over to Run Pure Sports, check out all our content. My player pool will be up probably tomorrow afternoon at the latest. I'll be in Discord answering questions all the way up to lock on Thursday. I know I'm playing Rom, but I'm still making these tough decisions up top. I feel much better about some of these other tiers that we'll get into later in the show.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with you on so much there. Like, I look at this top tier, we got to eliminate some guys. We know that we want Rom in there. I want one more guy as well. So I'm definitely with you there. Hopefully Snyder, talk to us a little bit about this 10K and up range. I think you can, maybe talk us into a couple guys here.
Yeah, we're going to get Rom here at a little bit of a discount compared to what he was last week due to his poor play. Quote unquote poor play has been T10, T3, T14. Definitely is the top guy in this field. He's kind of been struggling around the green a little bit, which is a little bit of a worry here as you need a good around the green play here. He's been great off the tee though, last 5 events. I think I'm just going to go play Rom at just the field, I think, just so I don't get burned. I don't really have too much conviction on these top 3 guys. I mean, Cantley's been all right here. I think he's finished T15, T17, T15. And at that price range in this loaded field, I don't think that's going to pay off if he goes T15 again. So he has been playing great, but I'm going to make the tough fade there. I'm going to make the tough fade on JT because I'm going to go with my guy right below him, Morikawa, the Cali kid. He's back home. Talked about how it felt good to be back home finally around some friends and family. Grew up about 30 to 40 minutes away from here. Kept referencing it in his press conferences so far that he's talked to the media and such. How comfortable he feels back here in California. It's where he won his first major. He's played this course many a times growing up and throughout college. He talked about, and he said he was a little off with his game overseas, but his coach came out last week. They worked on a few things. He says he feels way better right now. He feels great heading into this week. He's ranked near the top in his 2 trips here. He's been like absolute best in approach play here, but I mean the putter's just been absolutely terrible for him though. Last year he lost 7 strokes putting, finished 43rd. The year before I think he lost like 3 or 4 strokes putting, finished 26th. I think the putter has come around some this year, so definitely going to be on Morikawa here at 10-4. He's got another chance to take over number one in the world this week if he wins, and I think Rahm finishes like outside of the top 30 and Morikawa wins, and he'll be the new number 1 golfer in the world. So that'll be something to look forward to. I do like Dustin Johnson this week. I usually don't play him that much, but I think I'm going to go to him in this range somewhat. Maybe I'll play him 20, 25% or so. Should be slightly over the field at that, I think. Elite course history here. He's got 4 top 10s, including in his last 5 trips here, including a win in 2017. Was solid tee to green at the Farmers Open. Gained 8 strokes tee to green, but did lose 2 strokes putting. I mean, I don't think he needs to make a lot of putts here. This is a course where he can hit greens in regulation, make his every 1 out of 3 putts or whatever, get along. He can shoot 68, 67 pretty consistently here and be there at the end, I think. So I'm going to be on DJ and Morikawa mainly in this top range, and I'm going to be right at the field, I think, with Rahm.
Yeah, very good. For me, guys, I look at Jon Rahm, and you look at what he's doing. I mean, we got, the 10K and up range is just absolutely loaded. But then I think Rahm is just on that next level. Like, I agree with what Hoop said. I think he's better than all of these other guys. And so, like, here's what I'm doing. I got to eliminate some guys. So Cantlay, Rahm, very tough decision between the two. However, I'm looking at driving distance. I'm looking at these little things where Rahm just has the edge. I want every edge that I can get. And Rahm has the driving distance edge, bogey avoidance. I mean, he ranks first and off the tee play, ball striking. The putter is, very strong. And he, I mean, everything that you said, I'm like 100% on board. I'm going to have a lot of Rahm because here's what I see happening. I see 15 to 20% are going to play Rahm. You're going to have 20% play Cantlay. You're going to have 15 to 20% play JT. You're going to have around 20% play Colin Morikawa. You're going to have around 15% play DJ. What I'm going to do is move off Cantlay, move off my boy JT. So the thing about JT, I mean, everything is good except for he's not avoiding bogeys. So he's not and it comes down to putting too. And so you could make the case here that the bumpy POA is going to affect everyone, especially later on in the day. Maybe that's something that helps JT. I don't know. I just have to pick one of these guys in that upper top range, and it's going to be wrong. I do like what you had to say about Colin Morikawa, but I got to make a couple more cuts, and I got to go DJ. It's tough to ignore what he's done here. T8, T10, T9, he won it in 17, and he actually I don't know. I mean, for DJ, I thought he looked decent at the Farmers. I mean, he gained 8.3 strokes total. He was good off the tee. He was good on approach. He just, needed to make some putts. Otherwise, he had a decent round of golf, and we hadn't really seen him that much. Now he gets to go to a course to where he knows it really well. His course history is better than everyone else's here. So sign me up for DJ. I'm keeping it very simple up top, though. I want a lot of Rahm. I want a lot of DJ, and then I got to make some tough cuts. I mean, Snyder, you get these conviction calls. It's tough for me because, I know Morikawa was your boy, and so it feels a little bit different. I was kicking myself. The Brooks, I'm I should have just trusted you on Brooks, but I'm torn here. So we'll see with Morikawa. I'm definitely siding with DJ, but man, Rahm for me is the clear top guy. So who, you mentioned your top guy was Rahm. Do you have a 2 yet, or is it just to be determined?
Yeah, it's Rahm, and then honestly, like I said, it's going to be to be determined. I'm going to play at least one other guy, maybe 2. I think I'm crossing off JT, and then I could see myself playing any of the other 3. Cantlay, Morikawa, DJ, but it's clearly Rahm up top for me. Then I got to make those decisions. I mean, to me, the worst thing you can do is what you laid out in your opening. Okay, yeah, play 15 to 20% Rahm, play 15 to 20% Cantlay, play all these guys at 15, 20%. That's what our competitors do. And that's why they don't have the success that we have in PGA DFS. Does not feel comfortable crossing off some of these names. And maybe Rahm's the guy you want to cross off. Maybe you don't feel good about Rahm. Just cross his ass off. You got to make the stands here. That's what PGA DFS is all about. Regardless, if it doesn't, it's not going to feel good this week. I can promise you. Anyone you cross off up here doesn't feel good. Like I said, I'm probably crossing off JT. JT could come out here and win this thing by 5 strokes. I mean, these are world-class players. I mean, these guys are amazing. And when it clicks and they get hot, it's over. So the one thing I will say, make your stands up here. Yes, I love John Rahm. I'm playing him. Outside of that, I don't know, but I just encourage everyone, make your stands up top. This is the most important range in this field to me by far.
Yeah, very good. I agree with all of that. And we got another tasty range, but Snyder, give us your 1-2 in the 10K and up range, then take us down into the 9K range.
I'm going to go Morikawa 1, and I think I'm going to go DJ 2. I'm going to have more DJ of Rahm, so I'm going to go with those 2. And then this 9K range, we've got 7 guys here. I mean, all 7 of these guys, like the rest of this field, is pretty loaded in this 9K range. I'm going to cut probably 3 or 4 of these guys for sure. I've got 3 guys I'm going to definitely play. The first one, Xander Schauffele. I mean, just good price tag on him. Solid off that 3rd place finish last week. The solid course history as well. He also kind of has almost like a feel of a home game for him too, as he's back in California. His around the green game has improved much this year, gaining in his last 4 events, including 4+ strokes last week. I gained over 13 strokes total tee to green last week, but did lose some putting. I mean, it's always hit or miss with the putter with Xander, it feels like, but I definitely like going to him here at 9-9. I'm going to be on Mr. Rory McIlroy this week. Who probably doesn't like hearing that, but I mean, the dude's he's been really good here. I mean, he didn't miss a cut last year, but before that, he went 5th place, 4th place, 20th in his last 4 trips here. Talked about playing more patient this year too, which I think is really key for him, as he's kind of always maybe been too aggressive at times and forced mistakes that he didn't need to at times. And he even talked about that over in Dubai. He pulled 3-wood on that par 5, hit it in the water, ended up losing the chance of going to a playoff there with Hovland. but he's been good here his recent
No way.
form.
Rory buckled at the end of a tournament? No, that didn't happen.
I mean, he's solid though. 3rd at Dubai, 6th at the World Tour Championship, 1st at the CJ Cup, 14th at the Tour Championship, and 4th at the BMW, going back in his last 5 events. So I think he's starting to round back into form. I expect him to actually play more conservative here. He's kind of talked about how he likes this course, how it's more strategic and such. So I think he's going to play this course a lot different this time. And I actually think he's got a chance to win this event. So definitely going to be on Rory too. And Cam Smith is my 3rd favorite guy in this range. I wasn't really on him too much looking through the stats. I mean, he kind of popped in a little bit, but then I started looking at the matchups and everything. And I see Cam Smith's anywhere from a -115 to a -136 favorite over Hovland. Big favorite over Brooks. He's -140 versus Zalatoris. I mean, Vegas definitely likes Cam Smith here. He's an Aussie. He knows this type of grass well, as they have a lot of this Kikuyu over in Australia. Finished 4th here last year too. Won the TOC. Has 5 top 10s in his last 9 events, and only one of those has been outside of 17th or higher. So I think he's going to be a good spot here. Comes in well rested, 4 weeks off. So definitely like Cam Smith at this 9.1 price range. And I see he might see a little bit of ownership, but not too much. I'm kind of torn on Brooks this week. I was on him real heavy last week. I mean, it was my highest owned guy, I think. But the driver kind of got away from him there at the end of the event in those last two rounds. The iron game was great for the first 2 days, and then that kind of went away in the last 2 rounds. Has struggled around the green as of late too. So I think this might just be a spot where, I don't know, I might still get some of him. It depends on how my builds shake out and what everything. So I like some guys in the 8K range too, but mainly it's going to be Xander, Rory, and Cam Smith for me in this range.
Yeah, I like those calls quite a bit, and Cam Smith, one of the guys that just like, I don't know, maybe feels a little out of place, at first glance in this range. But as you mentioned, the guy's been getting it done. A ton of top 5s, top 10s over his past few rounds. So, I mean, I'm with you there. Hoop, what are you doing with this 9K range? Snyder is on Rory. Are you playing Rory this week?
No, I'm definitely not playing Rory. I mean, I'm not playing Rory. Rory is probably $1,000 overpriced. Rory belongs in the 8K range. When Rory gets to 8K, then I'll consider playing him. 9-7 in this loaded field. He's probably, I don't know, he's probably like the 30th best guy in this field. So no Rory for me. Xander, however, is great play. I love him at 9-9. Just so steady. So I love him at courses like this where you need a well-rounded game, where you need all aspects of your game to be on point. Just fits Xander perfectly. 9-9, definitely like him. I was heavy on Hovland last week. Really liked Hovland. He was not good, and a lot of it was with the driver. I watched most of his rounds. He had no control. The price has come down quite a bit. People probably off of him because he didn't look good. He was in those featured groups as well, so everyone kind of saw it. I think I will go back to Hovland at 9-4. Matsuyama at 9-3 has been playing phenomenal. You got to make cuts. I'll probably be off Matsuyama and just take my chances there. Scotty Scheffler, I picked him to win last week. He won, got the job done for us. He, really good Saturday. What did he shoot? Like 8 or 9 under, and then, continued to win. Yeah, I mean, he just solid weekend. Don't like playing guys after wins, but I'm going to make the exception here because for a couple reasons. Number one, it was his first one. He's been playing solid golf. It's not like he came out of nowhere. He was finishing like 50th, 60th, missing cuts, and then he gets a win. He's been steady in the top 20, gets that monkey off his back, gets the win. I think this could propel him into the top tier of golfers. He's another guy that's just super well-rounded. He does everything very well. So I'll go back to Scheffler at 9-2. The Cam Smith thing, he's the one name you look at it up here and like, oh, this guy doesn't belong here. But man, like you look at Vegas and they're giving him some big time respect. I mean, he's right up there 20-1 with all these guys. You look at some of the head-to-head matchups, he's winning versus a lot of these guys by a pretty wide margin. So I'm gonna play Cam Smith honestly for that reason. He looked good in that win early on in the season, looked dominant. Didn't look all that good the following week. He's taken some time off. I think he bounces back here. So 9-1 I think is fair. And then yeah, with Brooks, I'm going to be with Snyder and be off. And honestly, good call last week, Snyder. I mean, we were all, giving you crap about being on Brooks, and you should love that when you like a guy and then we give you shit, because that guy automatically like crushes. And he looked good last week. It's just the weekend though. I mean, like you said, I mean, they all kind of fell apart for him on Sunday, especially that driver. He was taking, I think he was like hooking everything. It seemed like it was just not a good round for him. And honestly, it should have been a lot worse for him on Sunday. He made some long par saves, and that is his game. He does that a lot, but there's like 5 or 6 par saves on that final round on Sunday where he saved it for par, where it could have been bogey. So it could have been a lot worse for him. I mean, he played that bad on Sunday. I mean, he was really bad on Sunday. So yeah, definitely not going to be on him. He hasn't played that well here anyway. So I feel fine being off of him, but another range where you need to make some cuts, and these are uncomfortable guys to cut. And again, that's where I think we get the leg up on the competition, because our competition is going to come here and they're going to say, I mean, if you listen to other stuff around the industry, they're going to say, well, I'm going to get a little exposure to him. I'm going to get a little exposure to him. I'm going to play him at 5%. They all say it, and it's just the wrong way to go about it. We make stands here. You have to make stands. This is not a comfortable range to make stands. And 9K and above, anyone you cut at 9K and above, you're not going to feel good about. Those people could come back and absolutely pound you and end your week, but you have to do it. And, the names I'm cutting here, I don't feel comfortable with, but like I said, you have to make those stands in PGA DFS. So it's a loaded range. Some guys I really like here. I'm going to have heavy exposures to the ones that I mentioned.
Hopefully AP has some harsh things to say about Rory this week.
No, actually, coming into this, I kind of liked him. When I look at this course, it reminds me a lot of Quail Hollow, course that he's really good at, where driver is very important. Here's the thing, though. The more I think about it, I think an under 10K Rory is going to be more popular than Xander. I mean, I'm going to say that right now. I'm going to say Rory's going to come out and he's going to get more ownership than Xander. And maybe I'm wrong. I'm not like the best at ownership, but I see a lot of people, they're going to look at 9-7 Rory. Oh, he's done decent overseas. Oh, a 3rd place, a 7th place, whatever, and they're going to look at his last tournament, the CJ Cup that he won, which, I mean, is that relevant or not? I mean, yeah, it's good that he won that, but I don't think it's as relevant as what, Xander's doing. I mean, he was phenomenal last week, right there again, knocking at the door, was, bested by Scotty Scheffler, but T3, he's right there. The game is good. He had no bad areas of his game. And so I kind of think it's crazy that Xander is going to be maybe less owned than Rory. So I mean, I could definitely be wrong on that, but that's kind of my first glance take there, is that Rory might end up, higher owned than him. And I just think that's kind of crazy. Between the two, I definitely like Xander. You both of you made comments there on why. I agree with all of those. The course history is good. California, courses he's very good at. And so I'm going to give the edge there. So I'm definitely going to star Xander. He's going to be a guy I have exposure to. Now, I'm not cutting Rory. I'm still interested. I haven't made a decision yet. I really want to see where ownership. If he gets steamed up, he could be a guy that I cut, that we just get leverage on and we get exposure to Xander or someone else in this range. Hovland, I'm probably not going to play. Hideki's kind of tough for me. So one thing I'm looking heavily at is guys that just can get it done, avoid bogeys, very good tee to green. That is Hideki Matsuyama. His price is back into the range where it should be. At these last few events, he was, over 10K. Now he's 9,300, much easier to play. His range where he should be. So Hideki, a guy that I'm, I might have in my pool. Undecided on. Scotty Scheffler, I'm not going to play. Cam Smith. So here's my thing with Cam Smith, and I'm glad Snyder, you brought him up. This guy just, we'll be on, going into Sunday, and I'm looking at Cam Smith. I faded him, and this guy's just killing me. And I'm tired of that. I mean, this dude is a very good golfer, can play on hard courses, can play on easy courses. Obviously, and miss a cut at the Sony, but that was coming off his win at the Century. fourth year last year. I'm going to have him in my pool. I don't know like if he's going to be on a main team or not, but I'm definitely going to include him in my pool this week. Brooks Koepka, I didn't play him last week. So like, here's my thing. Last week is where I should have played him. I should have listened to Snyder. I should have got on Brooks then. I'm not going to like overreact and play him this week if I wasn't playing him last week. And I think that's the appropriate, approach to take with him at this track where he doesn't really have that good of course history. T38, he's missed a cut here. T43 are his two best finishes here. Not impressive enough for me. So I'm going to keep it simple. I'm going to go Xander, and then I'm really undecided on who I got at that number 2 spot. Probably Rory or Cam Smith. Snyder, you're 1 and 2 in this range.
Xander 1, and I'm gonna go Rory 2, just for the Brooks flop leg, or the hoping they get that same mojo.
It doesn't
going.
work like that because AP likes Rory, so I don't know what to tell you. You don't get that free roll. You don't get that free. You don't get the free roll.
Undecided on Rory. I mean, it's the problem with it is like I think he's just going to get steamed up because everyone's going to do what we're doing and see 9-7 like, oh, this is a guy, former number 1. All the things that you can, all the cases that you can make for him, and I think he's going to end up being pretty popular. Hoop, you're 1 and 2, and then take us into the 8K range.
Yeah, 1 is definitely Xander, and then I'm going to go my boy Scotty. I think this kind of propels his career. I think he can continue to rack up wins, and the guys I like to avoid after wins are the big guys. Like if Rahm wins last week, I mean, I love Rahm. Maybe I consider being off in this week, but like the guy, he's still 9-2. It's not like they said, all right, Scheffler won last week, you're going to be 10K this week. He's still 9-2. That's.
I like that call. you got me rethinking.
Can I hit on one thing here quick?
Call. Yeah. Oh yeah.
I was just looking at something. So I got the early projected ownership up. So we got 12 guys in this 9K and up range, and 10 of the top 12 guys are all in that range. So I think, like Hoop said, all these people are going to try and play 15 to 20% of all these guys. And I mean, that's what it looks like early
because
on.
You can. When you build teams, if you want to go in there and play all these guys 10 to 15%, you can do it. Like if you run an optimizer and you say, I want 10% of everyone above 9K, you'll be able to get teams, and it's easy to do it. So people will, and it's the wrong move, but people continue to do it. So, got to just take advantage of it. What are we at? 8K now?
Yeah, 8K range.
Yeah. So, one of my biggest regrets last week is the guy right at the top of this 8K range. I came on here and I said, you know what? I think, Spieth kind of propels, kind of takes off after the T2, and he sucked last week. I mean, he was decent through the first 2 rounds, made the cut, and then just was bad on the weekend. This course does not fit his game all that well. I'll just go back to being off Spieth this week, and he's not going to be owned, and I don't think he's going to be all that highly owned. So it's not like a big stand or anything, but definitely not the spot for Spieth. The guy that's getting a ton of buzz this week is Zalatoris, 8.8K. He's coming off the COVID, good course history here. Played well last time we saw him. Had that second at the Farmers, T6 at the American Express. I think Zalatoris is a guy that continues to get momentum throughout the week and get more ownership. But man, like in these loaded fields, if I like a guy, I am not going to get off of him because I think he might get some ownership. And that's the case with Zalatoris. I like him. I really like him. And you know what? Does he get to 20%? If so, I can easily get over the. It's just about getting over the field. And I know I can get over the field on Zalatoris. I can get over the field on everyone with ease because, like Snyder said, like the early projections on ownership is what we kind of expected, spread out. So it doesn't matter if you're playing a guy that's quote unquote highly owned, as long as you get over the field. I can do that with Zalatoris. I'm going to play Zalatoris. Sammy Burns, the game's just not on right now. I mean, a guy that treated us very well. At the inception of RPS, he was one of our first guys that we were on almost every week. He was in the 7K range, 6K range, and just continued to get the job done for us. Price is up. The results haven't been great. I'm going to continue to keep fading him. And, he's a solid guy, and I think he does have a bright future in the PGA. But right now, just not clicking. Sungjae, honestly, this range I don't like all that much. We like the guys in the 9K. We like the 10K guys. to me, this is a spot where I can just fade a bunch of guys. Bubba, I'm going to fade. Tony Finau, I'm going to fade. I mean, people are going to make a case for Tony Finau. I love Tony Finau. The game's just not right. I mean, it's just not. He comes out and shoots, 74 at the Waste Management. Second round was a little better with the 68, but yeah, the pressure's off at that point. You're probably not playing the weekend. So yeah, you can come out there and just swing freely, knock in some birdies, be more aggressive, which I think was the case. We saw the opposite at the Farmers, where he comes out and shoots a nice round of 67, I believe. Isn't that the place where there's one easy course and one difficult course, right, Snyder, at the Farmers? The north and the
correct.
south course?
Yeah, correct.
Yeah, so probably get shot the 67 on the easy course and then fires the 77 on the hard course. This is a hard course. Think he's going to suck this week again, unfortunately, and I love Tony Finau. Max Homa, what, did he win it last year? I don't know. He's so up and down, and you're kind of paying a premium for him at 8.3. I mean, it's not like he's in the 7K range. I just prefer guys cheaper. Fade him. I'll fade Scott. I think Fitzpatrick I do like, though. I mean, the game's rounding into form. He tends to play the more difficult tracks a little bit better. I just think this is kind of a misprice for Fitzpatrick at 8-1. Taylor Gooch missed the cut at the American Express, but outside of that, he's been solid. Had a big round on Saturday. Shot a really, or what was that? Maybe it was Friday at the Waste Management. Friday and Saturday. Then kind of fell off on Sunday. I like Gooch when he's in this range. I don't want to play Gooch when he's like 9K or 9.5K, which he was earlier on in the season. Loaded field, I get it, but I think I will have some Gooch. So honestly, this range I don't love, mostly fades. But I think our competition plays a lot of these guys, so I'm going to be fading a lot.
Yeah, very good. Really interesting range. I think this is going to be kind of like, you just got to get, when you think about roster construction, especially if you're playing John Rahm plus like a Xander range type of guy, you're really going to be capped on what you can do with this range. So it's going to really be interesting, I think. Snyder, AK range, Jordan Spieth all the way down to Taylor Gooch. What are you doing with these guys?
Definitely not playing Spieth. Zalatoris is a good play here. I definitely like him. Second at the Farmers in his last outing. Did fail to close there, but I mean, that's just a good learning experience for the young kid. I think kind of like Scotty. He was really close a few times, finally broke through. I know Zalatoris is finally going to break through here one of these weeks. T6 the week before at the Amex. The form is definitely there for him. Finished T15 here last year. It's been great tee to green. But like usual, Zalatoris, it always comes down to the putter with him. He just can't make the putts. He loses strokes putting more so than not, but I mean, I'm going to be on him this week. I'm kind of interested on Bubba. I don't know if I'm going to get there or not. He did win here a couple times a few years back, like 2018, 2016. Has miscut here the last two times, but he's kind of in form right now. Second overseas, backed it up with the 14th place finish last week. He gained 9 strokes to the green last week. The price kind of dipped a little from last week. He's kind of a guy. When I do play Bubba, I like to play him when he starts to heat up and such. So might get to him this week. He is a -126 favorite against Max Homa in the betting markets. I do like Tony Finau this week. I haven't played Tony Finau at all this year, but I think I'm ready to jump on him right here. Second, 51st, 15th, second in his 4 trips here. I think this is a really good flop leg spot for him. I think he's going to be under 10% owned.
Like a flop leg year for him, Snyder.
I usually don't play him. I think the reason why he might have success here is he's really bad off the tee.
You got to play him when he's got good course history, like at the Farmers a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, that's true.
But I think the reason why he plays better here is he's terrible with driving accuracy. But I think here that driver can be taken out of his hand here. He can hit a lot more 3-woods here and a lot more driving irons here with the way this course sets up. So I think that's maybe how he plays better here. I think this is just a good price tag for him. He's got that winning upside now. I think 8.4K is just too cheap for him, I think, at this point. So
this reminds me of Brooks last week. I might have to play his ass now. Are you gonna really talk me into my boy? Like I don't need to be. I don't need to be twisted. Too. I don't need to be twisted on Tony Finau. You know I love Tony Finau.
Yeah,
you just toying with my emotions.
I'm starring him.
I haven't played him. I haven't played him since like last summer, but I think this is the time I'm going to jump on.
You're going to get me on Tony. Fuck.
We're going to go down, I guess, together if it does. I mean, I think he's going to see lower ownership. I think Homa's going to see a lot more ownership than Finau. I think Zalatoris is going to see ownership in this range. Sung J M is going to see some ownership. I think just above him, Adam Scott's another guy with great course history that's going to see ownership. I think Finau is kind of going to slip between the cracks once they pull up that game log and see a couple MCs. So that's kind of my reasoning for going there. I'm not sure if I'm going to play Max Homa yet. I mean, the price tag is definitely up here. He's in the 8Ks when we're used to seeing him like in the 7Ks in these type of fields. So I think that might be a little too thin for me here. I think I like Matt Fitzpatrick quite a bit better for 200 cheaper. He's got pretty much the same type of course history here. Fitzpatrick finished 5th here last year. Homa won. Yeah, Homa finished 5th 2 years ago. Fitzpatrick I think he fits this course really well. Like he loves these type of courses where he can kind of just grind it out and get to like maybe -13, -15. He's coming off a pair of top 10 finishes as well. He's rolling right into form. He's gained strokes across the board last week, gained 11.7 strokes total at Pebble. I think this is a really good spot for Fitzpatrick, so I'm probably going to X Homa and just go right down to Fitzpatrick for a little bit cheaper. And I do like Taylor Gooch here at 8K. He's priced up a couple hundred this week, I think, but he's still got a really nice price tag here. Solid with the irons, good around the green play. The putter can be hit or miss, but I don't think that's really needed here. I mean, if the putter heats up here, that's great, but this is one of those places where you can be average at putting with the POA here, and how many people miss some short putts and stuff. Good recent form, 12th and 10th place finishes here in his last 2 trips. So sign me up for some Gooch and Fitzpatrick, and probably going to be on Finau and Zalatoris as well in this range.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of good plays down here, Snyder. It sounds like you're on quite a few of them. Trying to talk us into Tony Finau. I'd X'd him. I wanted to list him as a fade already, but I don't know. Undecided. What I do know is I'm not playing Jordan Spieth here. I mean, he has made 5 cuts in a row, but still, I'm not. I played Spieth last week. There's just his game. I mean, now I'm going to talk myself onto him looking at his course history. Yes, some decent history here. The price tag's lower, but we'll see. He would make for an interesting tournament play at 8-9. Like, I'd probably, let's just say Rory gets steamed up. If I had to play like a cheaper Jordan Spieth, I might go there in tournaments because I think it's an interesting move leverage-wise, but we'll see. Will Zalatoris, man, really good ball striker. I think he's going to get a ton of ownership here. He just doesn't make mistakes. So I think, if you want a safe play in this range, you go with him. Sam Burns, man, 2 cuts in a row, missed. I'm probably just going to stay off of him until we see that old form return that we saw last year. Sung J M is the interesting guy for me in this range. He's miscut twice here. I think a lot of people are going to look at that and they're going to just maybe move on to someone else in this range. He's got everything that I'm looking for a safe play down here. Very good off the tee, very good ball striker, very good around the green, very good at avoiding bogeys. Ranks 3rd in the field at avoiding bogeys. And then looking at his current form, T6, T11, he has a T8 at the Century. He's got a lot of good results. So, like, he's a guy that I could see maybe anchoring, like if I go like a Xander range, and then, maybe someone else up in that range that I'll be looking at. I like the Bubba call. My problem is, I think if we're spinning up, like, we're only going to be able to play one of these guys. So we're going to have to make some cuts, but I do like the Bubba call. The other thing that we could do is like mix and match. So let's just say you lock in Rahm, you lock in one other stud, then you mix and match. You got a Bubba build, you got a Sung J build, a Finau build. I'm definitely fine with that as long as you're making some stands up top, which is what we want to do. Fitzpatrick, I agree with you 100%, Hoop. This is a guy that's just a good golfer. He kind of, Fitzpatrick, he's kind of, for me, in that Cameron Smith category where I faded him like so many times when he's just like crushed me. And I don't want to do that. He's a very good golfer. He grades out very well for me, except for like the only knock is he doesn't hit the ball very far, but he does everything else really good. Good putter, good around the greens, good iron player. So, and he has the course history here, a T30 and a T5. So sign me up. Taylor Gooch just feels like, man, he feels like the trap play for me. I think at 8K, when you look at what he's done, when you look at his current form, and then when you look at his history here, T12, T10, T20, I think that's going to suck a lot of people in. I think he's going to be very popular. I'm going to make a bold call. I'm going to say he misses the cut this week, and I'm going to be fading him. Just a random kind of bold call. I was watching him on the weekend, especially I think like he was right kind of in the mix, and then I think it was either Sunday or Saturday kind of fell backward and just didn't really do much. So I don't think he has a ton of momentum coming in to this event either. So for me, kind of just to sum up this range, it's tough. Like I'm gonna say Sung Jae, and then I like the Bubba call. I'm gonna go with you on Bubba Snyder, but like I see myself getting multiple studs up top and then one guy from this range. So I'm kind of happy that I'm not in love with like any one of these guys, but I think Sung Jae, Bubba, Hoop, what was your 1 and 2 in this range?
Number 1 is going to be Fitzpatrick. Number 2, I guess Zalatoris. I mean, those might be the only 2 guys I play in this range, so I guess it's got to be those 2.
Very good, Snyder. You're 1 and 2, and then take us down to the 7K range.
I'm as well going to be with Fitzpatrick 1, and then I'm just going to do it. I'm going to go all Brooksy style and go Finau number 2 and see how it goes.
Snyder, can we do let's do Jordan Spieth versus Finau, like straight.
I'll take
straight
all
up.
that. Yeah, I'll take Finau.
Just for like, let's do a Chipotle type of deal. I'm not as rich as you, Snyder, so let's do that.
That's a complete lie. I've been to your mansion before.
Yeah, you got the freaking compound. Got TVs all over the freaking place.
There are a lot of TVs here. TVs are cheap though, man. TVs are definitely cheap.
They actually are. I just bought a new TV for the basement for the kids playroom. I was just going to get something small. I was going to just go there and get like a 45 inch. I walked in, I got a 55 incher like LG for $399. I was like, sign me up. Like I bought it. I was out the door in 5 minutes. It was perfect. TVs are cheap. Long story short.
Yeah, Snyder, take us down to your picks were Finau and who?
Fitzpatrick 1 and then Finau 2.
Tambo would be so proud. I got my notebook here. I always see Tambo like he's such a good host. He's always taking notes, like engaging, remembering what you guys say. Usually I'm over here just drinking some booze and hanging out and not listening to you guys. No, I'm just joking. But we got the notes going today. Snyder, 7K range.
Yeah, there's some interesting guys down here I like for sure. Start off with Mark Leishman. He's at the top of this range. He's an Aussie, plays well on this type of surface. I think he finished 4th here in 2019. Pretty strong recent form here too, heading into this. 10 straight made cuts. 5 of the 7 have been top 20s. The irons have been on point here as of late. He's averaging 3.1 strokes gained tee to green over his last 5 events. So I like some Mark Leishman down here. Jason Kokrak's interesting in GPPs. If you want to sprinkle him in there some, I think he's always a good GPP play once you can get him in this 7K range, and does hold some winning upside as we've seen on a couple times. Casey has made his past 7 cuts here. Minimal upside for him here, though. I think he's going to be popular. It's an easy fade for me. I will not have any Paul Casey this week. Alexander Noren, his game is trending upward, 39th, and then off that 6th place finish last week, gained strokes across the board last week, finished 12th here last year. So Noren will be in my player pool for sure. Thomas Peters is getting kind of talked up a little bit. The kid can bomb it off the tee. He's got some strong form overseas heading in. It'll be interesting if I get to him or not. I haven't I think he's a good play this week. I'm just not sure if I'm going to get to him. Just depends on how much ownership and such he gets talked up, because I do like Cameron Tringali right under him for 100 cheaper. Led the field in approach here last year, gained 7.6 strokes approach here, but he's lost strokes putting in his 2 appearances here. Finished 26th off that, and then in 2020 it was basically the same type of showing for him. Gained a lot of approach, lost putting, still finished decent. I mean, if he can get 26 for him at 7.3, I mean, I'd definitely take that. But his recent form's kind of been boom bust. He's either finished top 10 or he's missed a cut in his last 6 events. 3 of 3 for each side of that. He's had 3 top 10s and 3 missed cuts. He's a minus 130 favorite over Abraham Answer in the betting markets. Mav McNeely, he did miss a withdrawal last week. I'm not sure what that was due to. I know he's from California. Maybe he wanted to go to the Super Bowl. Maybe his billionaire dad or whatever had a box there. So, and unless I see anything regarding an injury or anything, I'm going to play him this week for sure. I love targeting him here on the California swing. He's made 15 of his last 16 cuts too. He did kind of underperform for expectations at Pebble, but I like his price tag right here. I think he's just way too underpriced if he's fully healthy and ready to go. So I'll definitely be on him. Lanto Griffin, another guy I like. 3rd, 30th, 16th to open up the year. Solid form there. Has made his last 2 cuts here, finishing inside the top 40 both times. Gained strokes across the board in this event last year. Definitely like Lanto. Hadwin's another guy I'm going to be on in this range. The game's trending upward. He made 5 straight cuts to end 2021, and he's opened 2022 with 3 top 26s in his last 4 events. Gained over 3 strokes approach in back-to-back events. I think he's a great option down here at 7-1. So those are kind of the guys I'm going to be on. Probably about 6-7 guys in this range, maybe more as it goes on.
I don't recall you saying Patrick Reed's name down here. Appropriately priced, maybe should be.
I'll let Hoop cover him.
Yeah. I mean, Hoop, 7K.
I just realized he was in the field. I had no idea he was in the field until I just saw his name.
I know. I needed to add him to the, my ritual of the very first thing that we put on the playbook is Patrick Reed in the fade list.
Yeah, Patrick Reed fade. Yeah, I mean, I'm mostly with Snyder in this range. Haven't played a lot of Mark Leishman this season, but that had to do with his price tag. Like, he is way up there, like for a lot of those events, and I didn't play him much. Now he's down to the 7K range. I do have some interest in him. Henley is a guy I think a lot of people play this week because he's been solid. I'm not going to be on Henley. I do like Neiman. Last time we saw him, he looked solid. 6th at the Farmers. I believe he has pretty solid course history here. I think his game kind of sets up well. So like Neiman, Garcia, I have some interest in. Kokrak. The one difference we're going to have Snyder is Paul Casey. I got to play Paul Casey at 7.6K. When you're down in the 7.6K range, if a guy makes a cut and finishes, 30th, you'll take it. And if you tell me Paul Casey just needs to come out, make a cut and finish 30th, like, I can't fade him. So I'm on him.
You gonna give me a countdown? I think we're live. Snyder, stop talking shit about Big T. I see him in the chat there. So Yeah, all right. So Paul Casey, I guess we're not playing Paul Casey. He absolutely dusted and killed the stream, but I'll keep going. Alex Noren, I believe, if we're talking about Casey, Alex Noren is the next guy that I was very high on down in this range. Has a lot to do with the putter. He also has good course history here, T12, T16. It's just a guy that's just gaining a ton of strokes putting. Very good at avoiding bogeys as well. Tom Hoagie, I'm with Hoop on that one. Peters, I think he's fine. I'm kind of torn. Like I feel like he's a guy that struggles whenever, like the first event when he comes overseas. I'm a Thomas Peters guy though, so I'm really torn on what to do with him. We got to make stands. So I honestly see myself, if he's going to be steamed up or be popular, I'll probably be under on him, and I want to get that leverage with a guy like Alex Norton, lean on his hot putter right now. Going down here, I'm not going to be on your boy Sahith Snyder. I'll be off of him. Lanto Griffin, a guy that I've been playing, a guy that I like his game. His game is all around really good, especially out here in California. So I'm gonna keep riding that at 7-2. He also has a T26, T37 here, and very good current form, very good at avoiding bogeys, and the putter is hot right now. So then we get to Mackenzie Hughes, the other guy, much like Noren, but he's been a guy that's just, he pops up like at these tougher events. And so I like that in him. I like that he's a very strong putter, and I like that he's avoiding bogeys right now as well. So Mackenzie Hughes, very high on this week. I think he's a really good tournament play along with Alex Noren. So I'm gonna actually use those as my 1 and 2. I want a lot of leverage in this game because I'm playing my flag up top. I want Rom, I want DJ, some of those guys up top. Xander. We talked about that middle tier. I need leverage down here. I'm gonna get that with Alex Noren. I'm gonna get that with guys like Lanto Griffin and Mackenzie Hughes. Snyder, what was your 1 and 2 in the 7K range?
I'm going to go Mark Leishman 1, and then give me Alex Noren 2.
Oh, let's go. I like that. Hop aboard the Nord train. Hoopster, you're 1 and 2, then take us down into the 6K range.
Yeah, I mean, definitely some solid plays here. I like Paul Casey. I'll put Casey 1, and then Cameron Tringali 2. I like Tringali this week at 7-3. 6K range. I think there's some plays down here. I mean, I think there's some pretty solid plays, and for me, it starts with Troy Merritt at 6'9". Been playing solid golf. Missed the cut at the American Express, but 4th at Pebble Beach. Followed that up with 38th at the Waste Management. Now, 38th place is not great, but at this price tag, we're just looking for guys that can make cuts. I think he can make the cut here. Patton Kizzire, another guy that's been playing solid golf so far this year. 42nd at the Sony, 22nd at the American Express. Missed the cut at the Farmers, but had a top 10 last week at the Waste Management. Aaron Wise is a guy I just don't think I can play, man. I mean, I was on him heavy last week. Like he's just, his game is not in good shape right now. And a guy that I had high hopes on coming into the season. I thought he would really turn a corner, played well in the swing season, but he has been bad the first 2 events this year. So I'll probably be off of him. Really like Sebastian Munoz. I like Cameron Young. I'm going to play a little bit of our boy Min Woo. Disappointed us at the Pro-Am, but I think he can bounce back for us. Good old Ricky Fowler finally got the price right at 6'6", and I still don't think we can play him. I mean, he's just he's a disaster. I mean, I don't know what the stipulations are. I don't know how the rules work, but I mean, he can't be on the PGA Tour for much longer, right? I mean, Snyder, you can talk about it.
Sponsors exemption here to this week.
Yeah, I figured just for the name, but man, he's going to probably be missing some events. Like he's terrible. Mito, another guy that just continues to disappoint. Wasn't far off. I think he missed the cut on the number, I want to say, last week, where he was 1 under. I think the cut was 2 under. He was close. I mean, the price comes way down. So for me, okay, you look at Mito. If he makes the cut last week and finishes like 40th or something, he's probably in the 7K range. Well, he missed the cut for a second week in a row. Now he's down to where is he? 6'6", right? Is that where he is? 6'6". Yeah, I think I'm going to play some Mito, Patrick Rogers, Wyndham Clark, Pendrith. I know Snyder, you've talked about Pendrith quite a bit. 6'4". I believe he's a good driver of the ball. That's what you kind of need here. 16th at the Farmers, 49th at Pebble Beach. I think I like Pendrith. Our boy JT Postman, 6.4K. I mean, does the Postman deliver this weekend for us? I think I might be back with him. 6'4" is a great price tag. He was a notebook play last week, got the job done. So yeah, I'll play him. Kramer Hitchcock is a guy I'm looking at, 6.2K. Our boy Peter Malnati, made the cut last week, but just a terrible weekend. Maybe a little Malnati, but yeah, it's a range I do like. I think we have some plays down here.
Yeah, you hit on three of my boys, but I love their price tag. Snyder, 6K range. What are you doing down here this week?
Yeah, Malnati, he kind of hurt my feelings last week. I think he took like 8 on that one hole there at the end of Friday. Took like 5 shots from like 30 foot away. It was pretty brutal there. It was pretty funny. Not so much funny, I guess. But down here, I like KH Lee, 6'9". He's made 10 of his last 13 cuts. The short game's coming around for him as well. Has made his last 3 cuts here, 13th place here in 2020. I'll have some KH. I've been on him. I'm going to keep going to him. I kind of like the flop leg spot here for Putnam. I was on him pretty heavy last week. He kind of let me down there at the end, but he did finish 32nd here last year. So I'll just go right back to him. He had 3 solid outings before that miscut, so I think he's fine. Troy Merritt's fine, like Hoop said. My guy Taylor Moore's down here at 6'7", 16th at Pebble. As the Corn Ferry guy I've been looking to get on this year. Good around the green. He's a streaky putter too, so I think he's fine here. Cameron Young, another young gun that I like to play. 3 straight solid outings to begin the year. He was a late add to the event last week, like the day before, I believe. Finished 26th, was 20th at the Farmers. I like him. I think James Hahn's going to be the popular option down here just based off his course history, but he's got just terrible history, 4 straight miscuts. Lost 3.2 strokes total last week at Phoenix. I'll be off Hahn. Pendrith's fine down here. Rogers is fine down here. He's got solid course history, bad form, but solid course history. I don't know if I'm going to get the Rogers, but I think he's a guy that'll pop up a little bit. My guy Aaron Rise down here, real cheap, 6'4". I definitely like. I'll have some of him for sure. Solid form. Finished 6th at the Farmers. Made 7 of his last 8 cuts, so I think he's a solid guy down here for that price range. I like JT Poston as well. He's got some good mojo going. I think he can play pretty well here. Was good off the tee last week, good around the green. Short game was there. The putter was good. So Poston's fine. That's pretty much it for right here. I'm waiting on the notebook play, though. I need to get him in for sure if I haven't talked about him.
Yeah, I think the notebook play, I swear it started here at this event, maybe last year. Because I might go right back to it because I remember who it was, or at least one of the 2 guys. But yeah, I agree. For me down in this range, Hoop, I agree with you on Troy Merritt. I think he's solid right up there. I actually have I don't have a ton of interest in this range. I'm going to make a ton of cuts. I have a little bit of interest in Martin Laird at 6'9". Good course history here. He looked good last week, T14 out there in Scottsdale. I might have a little piece. A guy that just knows this course, has history. Then we're going all the way down to my 2 guys. I'm making a lot of cuts in this range, and it works out nicely because I want those studs up top. I want John Rahm. I want DJ Xander, those guys that we talked about. Then we got Pat Rogers. We got Wyndham Clark. I believe Pat Rogers was the notebook play at this event last year. I'm pretty sure, just elite course history here. T12, T30, T15, T26, T22. Now, the thing is, last year, I think his form was even worse coming into this event. I'm pretty sure. He is coming off 2 missed cuts. Prior to that, people were actually playing him a little bit. So the same could be said with Wyndham Clark, 6'5". Also, I have a ton of interest in him. Another guy with elite course history here, T8, T17. I'm going to have a ton of those two guys. I'm going to make a ton of stands, and I'm leaning on the course history here. They're very good players in California, so I'm going to have a ton of interest in them. I love they're good drivers of the golf ball too. Like Wyndham Clark, he ranks 9th. Like this field is loaded with guys that can bomb the ball. Wyndham Clark ranks 9th in driving distance relative to this field. Patrick Rogers ranks 11th. The other thing that we should all be interested in is both of these guys have hot putters coming into this, which is what we want. And they're both good at putting on POA. So if you like putting splits, you can definitely factor that in. And I'm going to keep it simple. JT Poston, I'm going right back to the postman, in a field like this, like he's just, playing super good. I love what we saw out of him last week. He had a bogey, a kind of a rough stretch, there late, but he rebounded nicely, posted a T23, which I was definitely fine with. So I'm going to have shares of him. But my 1 and 2, I'm going back to Patrick Rogers as the notebook play. But I'm going to tell you, I'm going to be even on Rogers and Wyndham Clark. I'm going to have a ton of those guys this week. They're going to be my anchors and my stud and value builds as well. So Snyder, 1 and 2 in this range.
I'm gonna go KH Lee 1, and then I'm gonna dip down here to Aaron Rye, number 2.
I might have to add Rye into that. You get Snyder. You always got you got these guys that that are just gems down here too. So I might join you.
Yeah, he does wear two gloves. He does have iron covers.
Okay,
but,
never mind. No, screw you, Snyder. I'm off with it. I can't handle that.
He's gonna print.
Not wearing 2 gloves. He's not. You're 1 and 2 down in this range. We went the whole show.
The most experienced guy here.
No, I still didn't realize what you guys were saying. I was like, what? If you couldn't read my lips, it's number 1's Cameron Young. I mean, I know Snyder's going to be excited about that. Cameron Young, and then Wyndham for sure. I mean, our boy Wyndham has just treated us so well. So I'm back on Wyndham.
All right, boys, good stuff. Let's get to our winners. Let's just, who we think is going to win this week, and then a long shot for the people. Snyder, do you got yours ready to go?
I got the winner for sure. That's going to be Colin Morikawa. He's taking over number 1.
Surprise.
Yeah, shocking.
I know. It's about like you taking the Chiefs. So, I mean.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong with that.
Long shot. Give me Tony Finau. I don't know what his odds are. It's got to be like 60 to 1 here, don't it? I don't know. I guess that might not be long enough, but let me dip down here and go up Mark
50
Leishman.
To 1. Yeah, 50 to 1.
Better Mark Leishman.
What is it? Is it Finau or Leishman?
Is 50 to 1 long enough, I guess? I thought he might even be higher than that.
That works.
Yeah, that's a lot. No, that's perfect. Hoop, your winners this week.
All right, I picked Scotty Scheffler last week. This is going to be a chalky pick, guys, but I truly believe that Jon Rahm wins this week. So I'm picking Jon Rahm to win. I mean, if he puts just 50% better than he did last week, he's shipping this week. So I'm going Jon Rahm to win it. Long shot. Let me see where this guy's at. Jason Kokrak. I think Jason Kokrak plays well here. He has winning upside, so he's going to be my long shot.
So mine is this is going to make everyone puke. I'm going to be honest, but there's some things that I see that I like. One, I like the odds. I'm going to go Jordan Spieth 35 to 1. Snyder's laughing. Rightfully so. You can laugh. But if we eliminate last week, he was striking the ball really well, and I'm surprised by his history here. Not a track that I would ever think that he would be good at, but even when his form was terrible, he was making the cut at this event. So I'm gonna 35 to 1. Kind of I think there's some value in that. I guess that was kind of my long shot. But my guy that's going to win is Jon Rahm. So I'm there with you, Hoop, but I'm obviously not betting that. You can't 10 to 1. You can't bet Jon Rahm here, but I do think he's going to I'm going to have a ton of him. I'm going to have so many builds where I just have Rahm plus someone else like a Rom, Xander, Rom, DJ, Rom, Spieth type of route. So I might just end up
Big T doesn't like your Spieth call. He said Helmet should shut down the stream again.
I mean, yeah, I was on him last week. I think he's going to be unowned this week, and he's shown some upside. So I'm gonna go right back. It's gross. I'll be honest, but I definitely think there's some value in that. Any final thoughts, Snyder?
Not too much. I mean, this is going to be a great week, I think, for us. Just like Hoop said, I mean, this sets up just great for us on the way we build our lineups and we present our content here. So I think it's going to be another print fest here for the RPS crew, and I think the showdown's going to be pretty solid here again too. That'll be up tomorrow with the first round, and then each night with the Cinquit in the next rounds, round 2, round 3, round 4 will be up on those night befores as well. Looking forward to another, hopefully a good finish here this year as we saw last year.
Yeah, I agree. Hoop, any final thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, this is about as good as it gets in terms of field strength. I mean, the top 10 players in the world here, and then a bunch more on top of it. It's going to be a fun event, especially, no NBA going, NFL's done. This is kind of the premier sporting event this weekend. Tigers hosting, massive contests around the industry. Looking forward to it. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah, I agree. Tons of contests, Millie Maker out there. I mean, I'm pumped for this week, so it's going to be fantastic. As Snyder said, all the content will be up tomorrow for sure. We're dialing it in tonight as well. So yeah, with that, boys, I'm pumped to get this PGA week started. Again, we got the premium show for members only tomorrow with Big T, Uncle T, and Tambo. And I'm sure with how big the event is this week, we'll probably go late tomorrow night. I'm sure we'll turn that into a fun show where a bunch of us hop on. So with that, I'm AP, Snyder, and Hoop. Helmet, get us out of here.